All right. Good evening. Welcome to the July 29th, 2024 meeting of the Marshfield Planning Board. The time is now 7 p.m. Tonight's meeting is being recorded by MCTV, and we are holding a live remote meeting via Zoom. Here tonight, members are Kevin Cantwell, Fred Monaco, Mike Viviano, the chair. Also with us tonight is Greg Guimond, our town planner, and Karen Horn, our assistant town planner. And at this time, I'll make a motion to open the public hearing and waive the reading of the notice. Is there a second?
Second, Fred Monaco.
Thank you. Fred, vote.
Aye.
Fred Monaco.
Fred Monaco, aye.
There we go. Kevin?
Kevin Kell, aye.
Thank you. And Mike Viviano, aye. Okay, now that we're open, let's see.
You have minutes for June 3rd and June 17th.
Okay, if anyone's here for the Furnace Brook Middle School solar panels, we are not voting on that tonight because we need a fourth member, so we are not doing that. I'm going to make a motion that we approve the minutes for June 3rd, 2024. Is there a second?
I'll second Kevin Cantwell.
Fred?
Fred Monaco, aye.
Kevin?
Kevin Cantwell, aye.
And Mike Viviano, aye. Okay, we got that. Any board staff report while we wait, Greg?
Yep. So Karen and I have been reviewing another possible location for the MBTA zone. I don't think it's gonna work out as well, but we're doing it just so when we have our public meetings, we can say, here's the second choice. I don't know if that will make a difference to the residents as well. And it looks like the public meeting for that will be September 25th or 26th, which is in the middle of the week. And our zoning hearing on that will probably be scheduled for October 21st. Remember, this is going to be a late town meeting, December 16th town meeting. And part of the reason was they were hoping to have the Supreme Court ruling on Milton by that time. So the town will know at least what the Supreme Court thinks of the idea. So that's, Karen, do you have anything else to add?
No.
Okay.
Hey, Greg, did any other towns join in with Milton, or is it just stayed Milton to pay for it all?
At the moment, it's just Milton because the other towns that are not in compliance, I believe, are all adjacent, like Marshfield. So actually, we're not out of compliance yet.
Okay. All right, we got Katie O'Donnell is now on. Hello, Katie.
Hey.
That didn't sound like Katie.
All right.
It does look like Katie's there.
Here.
She
Hi, sorry.
Hi, Katie.
Oh, it's kind of me fool with my lights here. It's a little intense.
All right, well, I got 7:05 on my computer here, so at this time, I'll make a motion that we open the public hearing for the street improvement plan lots 11, 1505 on Duxbury Street off of Eagle Road and waive the reading of the notice. Is there a second?
Second, Katie O'Donnell. Katie O'Donnell, aye.
Fred?
Fred Monaco, aye.
Kevin?
Kevin Cantwell, aye.
And Mike Viviano, aye. Is anyone here for this, or is Greg doing it?
nope, they have people here. Greg, are you going to be I've made you a co-host.
Yes, for the record, yeah, this is Greg Morse, registered engineer, Morse Engineering. I can do a shared screen and put a copy of the plan up if you'd like.
Sure.
Great. So it says the host has disabled screen sharing on my end.
All right, hold on. I thought I made you a co-host.
Yep.
We all know Greg Morris is very untrusted, so we can't share screens with him.
Try again.
Here we go. Yep.
Okay.
All right, we got it.
Great. All right. Again, my name's Greg Morse. I'm a registered engineer with Morse Engineering. representing the applicant Joe and Anne Marie Toulis. This is a street improvement plan for Duxbury Street, which is up in the Telegraph Hill neighborhood. Duxbury Street was an unimproved street that was originally laid out in 1920. It was never built. There were no homes on Duxbury Street that access off of it. The proposal is to construct 291 feet of road, starting where my cursor is here at the corner of Phillips Farm Road and Eagle Road. Duxbury Road would come down like this, approximately 291 feet to the end, and it would provide access to this lot right here. It's a residential lot of record that the applicant owns. It's 10,000 square feet in size. That 291 feet of road is being proposed as an 18-foot wide pavement. At the end, it has a 25 by 30-foot turning easement over the driveway of the subject lot. We would be connecting into utilities on Eagle Road. A water service would be a 1.5-inch water service coming down the side of the right-of-way to access the house. We'd also be connecting, there's an existing utility pole at this intersection with subsurface utilities coming down in the shoulder of the road for the house. There's an existing fire hydrant right over here on Phillips Farm Road. That fire hydrant is 485 feet away from the proposed house, so it complies with the 500-foot requirement. And that 484 feet that we measured is along the curb line of the road and up the driveway. So it's not a straight line distance, it's a hose distance along the street. For drainage within the street improvement, what we've proposed is coming down off of Eagle Road. The road comes down at a 2% grade, and then it transitions into a 6% grade. And then at the end, at the turnaround here, is a 2% grade again. We have 2 catch basins. Those 2 catch basins would collect any runoff from the street, and then through a series of drain manholes would connect down to Norwell Road, and would connect down Norwell Road all the way down to Parkway, where there's an existing drain manhole in the existing stormwater system to tie into. The applicant's intent is that Duxbury Street would remain a private street. General note 15 on the plan was added to that effect. There are no other lots that I see this portion of the road accessing. All the butters on the opposite side of the street here are owned by the town of Marshfield. Our direct abutter here on the left is again town of Marshfield, where the existing water tank is. We did request 4 waivers. I submitted a letter to the board July 18th outlining what those 4 waiver requests are. I can go through those in detail if you want. I also want to add that this plan was peer reviewed by Pat Brennan. Pat had a couple of comments on our initial submittal. We made revisions to the plan. And in Pat's second letter, which was dated July 19th, I believe he's in agreement with the changes that we made, and all of his comments have been satisfactorily addressed. I'm going to turn it back over to you at this point.
Okay, thank you. Greg, any comments for any of the town boards?
Yes, Greg, could you zoom back in on the catch basins?
Yes.
So the one thing that we have this evening, when I was looking at the plan, I was wondering if the Cape Cod berms match, and Pat had replied back that they don't. So they have put an upright curb behind the catch basins to hold back any water. The Cape Cod berms only are up to 3 inches versus 8 inch. So Pat's suggestion after I flagged that was to put earth berm on the 2 sides to keep the water contained in that area. And then the only other comment we had was add a couple of posts at the back end behind the upright curb. So with reflectors, so people and snow plows and stuff know where the road ends at night. when they're coming down the hill. So those were the only two other things that we wanted to note. The roadway was reduced. They had initially proposed it at 20 feet wide, and we had mentioned that it could go down to 18, which they did. They've reduced the house size, and they've reduced the lawn area that was going to be clear cut. So they now meet that requirement. A portion of the driveway is pervious. As I mentioned, they mentioned the fire hydrants within the 500 feet. And one thing Greg did not note was they shifted the drainage line on Norwell Road to more the center of the roadway versus right along the property line as you get closer to Parkway. The original plans had that drainage line pretty close to the lot line, and the resident at number 58 Norwell had asked, could the drainage line be shifted so he did not lose those trees, and they have made the shift in that. And then the last thing is the 8-inch water line being waived to was 1.5 inch, Greg?
Correct. Yes.
That waiver, the board would conditionally grant because we have not heard that the Board of Public Works has actually voted to allow that to happen.
Okay.
And that's it for me, Mike.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Any questions from the board?
Nope, I'm all set.
Okay, anyone here from the public for this?
It's you.
If you're here from the
Hi,
public,
this is Dave O'Brien. Can you guys hear me?
yeah, just give us your name and address, please.
Hi, Dave O'Brien, 73 Eagle Road. There we
Yeah.
go. Trying to
Yep.
get on video. Yeah, only question for me. So this is next to my property. I believe we talked with Greg at the planning board. Was just curious on if any of the trees are going to be left between the road and my house. I know it sounded like we went down to 18 feet, but is that a possibility, or should I expect that all the trees will be gone?
Greg Morse, could you answer that?
Sure. So the right of way here, that's Duxbury Street, is 40 feet wide. What we've proposed for a limit of clearing side to side is approximately 30 feet in width. So we're leaving 5 feet of vegetation on each side of the right of way.
Great. Great.
Anything else, Dave?
Hi,
Yeah.
this is Kristen.
hang on.
Fahey.
Hang on one second. Dave, you all set?
I am. Thank you.
Okay, great, thanks. If there's someone else in the public, just name and address, please.
Kristen Fahey, 48 Norwell Road.
Hi, go ahead.
Hi, I was just wondering what the time frame is. Like, when do they plan on beginning this? And also, how many trees are they taking down on the other side of Duxbury Street where they're putting the drainage and the manholes? Like, how long is that all going to take? Because I know the road was built in 1920, so my house is, also kind of close to that road.
Sure. Greg Morris, are you able to answer any of that? I'm not sure you have a timeline yet or not.
Sure. I don't have a timeline on when they want to begin construction. I would say it's soon. I would expect this to be done this year at this point. Regarding the trees that come down from the end of the street improvement here down to Norwell Road, the clearing is only for a drainage pipe in that location. It's not for construction of a street. So the trees that come down are approximately 15 feet inside of that right of way, as opposed to 30 feet where we're constructing the road.
Okay, and then is there any way to have some kind of notification before all the construction starts? Just because it is, before you
Sure.
wake up, just to have some kind of notification before everything begins.
Sure. Yes.
So that it doesn't affect me. I mean, because it's so close to my house.
Understood. So anytime there's work inside the street, a street opening permit's required with DPW, as well as, yes, the contractor would have to notify you of any street work that's happening, because they have to ensure that you have access to your property, as well as, limit any disruption to any services to your property. I don't see that there would be any disruption. We're not proposing to change any services. But yes, you would be notified when the time comes for construction.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Anyone else here from the public? All right, seeing none is Greg, are we ready to vote on this, just with a little change of the plan that he can submit to you?
Yep,
Okay. Any other questions from the board before I go to a vote? All right, seeing none, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the street improvement plan. Greg Morris will be adding the requested warning of the end of the road that Greg had mentioned during the meeting. And once that's submitted, it can be looked at and signed. So is there a second?
Second, Katie O'Donnell. Katie O'Donnell, I.
Fred,
Fred Monaco, I.
Kevin,
Kevin Cantwell, I.
and Mike Viviano, aye. Okay, thank you, Greg.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
So,
Thank you.
Greg Gimo, anything else left on the agenda? I can't see it.
nope, you did your board, I don't know if the board has any updates or things that they wanted to raise.
Anyone have any updates?
No.
Excellent. All right, well, thanks for coming tonight, everybody. Thank you, Greg and Karen. I'll make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. Is there a second?
Second, Katie O'Donnell. Katie O'Donnell, I.
Thank you, Fred,
Fred Monaco, I.
Kevin,
Kevin Cantwell, I.
and Mike Viviano, aye. Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Night.